Hello, hello, and welcome or welcome back, whichever the case may be. Hope you're having a wonderful day. And National Gumbo Day, Vermont Day, Farmers Day, Free Thinking Day, any other of the days I might have forgotten about. Yeah, helped us helped us get through mining some obsidian, so can't be all bad. We'll bring some more of those back. I have now double checked that we don't have a slide in front of us, and we're off if we can load up this world. Um, So yeah, hope you guys are doing great. I'm just zipping through this project now after having it's like a night sky. Oh, see? What did we say about seeing the misses from lower down? Boom. All right. So the plan, and I think it's solid enough. I'm gonna give it a shot. We're gonna leave these torch blocks up, uh, and take everything else around. Should preserve our lighty bits. Get that one hiding granite block. Come back down here. So yeah, now as we're working on this, we can kind of keep an eye up on the upper levels, look for some irregularities, but those should become all the more apparent further down we go. And these blocks with the torches, we're just going to leave right up until we're ready for our fight. They'll give us a little bit of added visibility. And then right before we want to set up, we can go through and clear them all out. Or leave, maybe even leave them. I don't know. I don't know what that does to our weather. It's one of the things I don't want it so dark in here that we can't see anything when we're going. What we will have to do is then set some additional light down below all these. Once we get down to the main floor, but hopefully this will be a nice little bridge. Keep us going until we have that main ground floor level of the eventual arena set. Granite around the dirt, not too good with that. So it stands to reason if we can erase half a pillar in the end in an episode, I'm hoping we can get um, maybe this whole side, and we'll just leave the other side for the next. I'm trying to break this in my mind into a good uh, time chunks size for the episodes. Nice little chunks. Not chunks, not actual entity chunks, but little sections of clearing we can be doing. We are keeping an eye on our pick here. Don't want to inadvertently delete it. I think we have 3 more in reserve. 1 already in the toolbox that's used up. And fingers really, really crossed that we don't have to repair before we finish up this project. So if we can squeeze a little more performance out of each of these picks, hey, let's do it. Dirt. All right, now let's careful here. This is the nice part, is now we can actually go deep on any of the shoveling areas. I don't know, I pulled off the block behind the block I didn't want to break, but you know, sometimes you get to witness greatness firsthand. Happy to provide you that show. Hey, there we go. Got a little advanced pit. Let's finish up this. So I think we will do the one side and then the other. Didn't leave too much over there, but I think we got a bunch here. This will be good. We will reset our inventory. Anything? Probably not. There's that. And not too much in the full stacks. All right. We are now kind of lower down, and I just want to take another loop. These corners get weird. All right. Well, that's so far so good. Ooh, only 2 more. Yeesh. We might have to repair, guys, at some point. All right. Well, I don't like fact that I can still hear those spiders. Really hoping we wouldn't have to listen to them. So the good news here is this is all it really takes to be mostly done with the clearing. The bad news is I think this is going to eat our pick really fast compared to the obsidian. But we'll get some more goodies. Hopefully we'll hit a few more previously unseen gravel and dirt patches because they just go so fast, and with the gravel we get a bunch more pieces of flint for Franny. Okay, this is. I was like, what? That's weird. Why did I leave that? I don't remember that. Yeah. We went a little further. Start. All right. Let's go around this way because this back edge didn't have much in the way of torches at the back edge, so getting it dropped down would be good. And we know we have lava off to our left. That's what's making the noise there. Of course, in all this digging, I'm noticing, I don't know if anybody else is, hardly any diorite, right? We're getting tons of granite, tons of andesite. And the one that we're actually using in this world at this point, hardly ever see. Alright, well there's our corner. So, while I was uploading the previous video, as I normally do, I did not go take my outside break. I probably should have, but I was enjoying the end of my latest first cup of coffee and a little snack. So, while I was going, I looked at. I went back to these national days and looked up on the thing what's Vermont Day, and lo and behold, no bones made about it. And I think this is fine, right? It is what it is, as long as you know going into it. So it's this National Day Calendar, whatever is the website, and they're the ones that are looking for sponsorship or whatever, and then they See, this is what I'm talking about, guys. I should do a quick look back. You just don't see them when you're close in. Where'd it go? Here. Like you do when you're down below. Alright, well, as long as we're back here. Empty the old pockets. Come on. So yeah, we'll have a few more of those along the way. It's just easier to pop up and get them, but we can always. That's why I try to keep some stone in the pockets too. We can always just pillar up if we need to and get to the point where we can reach. But nicer to catch those early. And this will kind of break our stairs, but I don't think it's too big a deal at this point. Um, we can always, we're removing anyway, so cut the stairs where we need the stairs if we do see any. But did we miss any more holes around? Don't see any at the moment. All right, that's something, isn't it? Less deep slate would be fine with me, unless it's going to have emerald or copper or gold ore in it. I think those are the three. I keep saying those to remind myself. In the no really good reason to do it, but wanting to grab one of each quest that we have. I think the only one we haven't ever really seen is the deep slate emerald, and we're unfortunately not. We're in taiga biome now, not mountains anymore. So the odds of seeing any of that here are pretty bad, but copper and gold could happen. This would be nice. Been a lot of noise, and I saw the splash screen as I was loading up this episode. Speaking of which, let's check the time and make sure there's no slides. 20 minutes. Good, good. So we should get this side good, I think. Oh, here's one of our dirt hole bonus areas. So nice when you don't have to do extra clearing. Because it went so fast already. What was I talking about? Gathering up the deep slate stuff? It seemed like that was it. Oh, maybe just that we may get back over to the end, depending on the timing around the episode. If we've got, like that 10-minute range, we may go set up. That would be a good mix. If we can do this side and have a little bit of time left over, and then go set up for an obsidian session, would help to break it up, certainly. And let's go around this way and check. We're down to this side. Do all the patterns. Not just everybody can go horizontal, vertical, all the way around the box. I think we'd gotten that gold, right? Check when we get back. I think gold we just snagged in the last one, and we were looking for the copper. Ooh, oh, that's iron. Okay, fair enough. We aren't gonna leave that sitting on the floor, though. Yeah, it's probably a fair time too. We should unload some of these goodies that we have gotten. Coal. Missing any? Going blind. Yeah, we'll definitely take those. Alright, well, here's our last side on the second ring. Ooh, all over the place. Ooh, another thunderstorm. Fortunately, like I said, we haven't found our designated villager yet. And at some point, we could just extricate one from a random village somewhere. Name them and set them up in a spot where we could go get them. The things you want to watch out for. You don't want to hit a villager with a golem around, because the golem will then turn on you. So we don't want to have that happen. And what I've done in the past, and kind of what I just envision, not that there's any real advantage to it, like I started it, in some long ago world where I hadn't yet found an igloo and hadn't moved or intentionally infected a villager to get zombie doctors. So when I saw a zombie villager out in the world, I would name tag them and keep them, set them up somewhere safe where they weren't going to get burned by the sun or anything else, and then leave them until I had a storm ready, or until I had a potions, weakness, and all that kind of stuff to heal them was the initial thing, but it also worked out so well for the once you've got them recovered, you leave them in said hole, whatever, wherever we set them up, and then when a storm comes, you just run out and hit them with the trident. Now we've turned this down a lot. I don't want to not have weather. Let's see how that does. That thunder is just so loud. So yeah, we continue our streak of not sleeping in the hopes that we'll keep getting those storms. Just need to come across the zombie to help us out with that. Hopefully that's most of the deep slate we have to contend with. That's just an edge though, right? Just an edge. Oh. Again, we are at 3% audio on that thunder. But hey, it gives us something to listen to and chill with while we're working on this hole. So one of the other things I was going to talk about, we've been talking about these national day ofs, right? I don't know how I got on this kick, but it's pretty good. So on the last video upload, I was watching or checking again on those, and yeah, this national daily calendar thing, whatever they are, they say right out there, they're like, so back in 2017, we began, starting at July 4th, a series where we just designate a state day for each of the 50 states as you go through the rest of the year. Yeah, I think it's based on, I don't know how they determine the order or anything like that. They said, but it doesn't make much sense because they said that Colorado's was like in August and Vermont is today, and Vermont would have been one of the earlier states, right? So who knows? But anyway, it's not a national recognition of the states, and it does not coincide with the date that they became a state. It is simply a way for this organization, right, of the national days of whatever, to go through and share some facts about the various states. So I was kind of looking at Vermont's and like, oh yeah, this and that. But then I pulled up Colorado's, and no offense to Vermont, but the Daily Day people kind of rock Vermont. Like Colorado, it's this cool little graphic thing that they have up, and it's kind of like a map of the state, right? And it looks all old timey, it's kind of browns and all that. But on it, superimposed, it has all the stuff we were talking about in the last episode. The lark budding is a national thing. I was wrong. The state tree of Colorado is the Colorado blue spruce. Go figure. There's a national reptile, which is like the western painted turtle. The state mammal is the bighorn sheep. good one. And I knew that that's the badge of the Department of Wildlife. Um, there's also the flower is the Rocky Mountain Columbine, and fish is the cutthroat trout. Oh, what are we doing here? So yeah, all kinds of cool stuff. Oh, my favorite one for Colorado, and I don't think many states have this, but the Colorado state dinosaur is the Stegosaurus. That's right. So there you go. Awesome. Um, Dinosaurs are one of those things that I think they continually update the terminology and the nomenclature and all that just to give like 5 to 8 year old kids bragging rights and flexing on their parents because it's like, oh yeah, the Brontosaurus, it's the biggest dinosaur, biggest creature to ever walk the earth, blah 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 blah. They're like, dude, that doesn't even exist. It's not a real dinosaur. It's an Allosaurus, and they were never actually on land anyway. Blah 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 blah. I don't know. About that point, my eyes glaze over, and it's been a long time since my nephew was at peak dinosaur age. But it's fascinating that for whatever reason, kids are so huge into dinosaurs, right? Like, I think they're cool. I mean, clearly Jurassic Park and all that franchise shows how much all of us want to love the. I don't know. For me, it's loving the kind of historical context that goes along with the geology and all that. But when you look at how the landscape has changed, and then you go, okay, if you're looking out at the Grand Canyon, say, right, and it says, okay, well, at that level, those rocks were exposed or being laid down 500 million years ago. And then you go, okay, well, what dinosaurs and things were there? And then you realize those rocks are several hundred feet under other solid rock that's been laid down and turned to stone since those rocks were the surface where the dinosaurs were walking around. Just it's truly sublime in the definition of feeling dwarfed by the cosmos and how small our role fits into it. But I love that. It's like when you think of the dinosaur fossils that get dug up here in Colorado, there's a right on the hogback, the first ridge of foothills, where there's kind of exposed stone where the uplift has occurred and it's broken and eroded rock. Dinosaur Ridge, where they found a lot of different fossilized dinosaurs, including Stegosaurus. And I'm sure that's no coincidence that that's the state dinosaur. Um, anyway, this website was awesome. Like all these cool little fun fact things. And again, I'm sure that's a part of their pitch to schools and things like that. I think that's part of what they're trying to sell the subscription for the daily day update things. And teachers may want to share those with their students, so it makes for a good uh, teaching tool and some value there. Okay, these two are still here. I was like, have I lost boxes? Don't want to lose. Oh, we did that tragically back in Slow Cooker. Remember the green shulker box had all her stuff in it. Left it on the. Woke up one morning, left it on the shoreline. All right, so here is our side. We are at 34 minutes while I'm talking. options, I guess. Do we keep plugging away, or do we go to get more obsidian and break that up? I think we go for obsidian. I know we talked about it, and that's basically what I said I was going to do anyway. Um, but I think we'll remember that those are there. This, we're going to need a couple loads, and if we just push through, okay, we can get most of the rest of the rock broken in this room. Well, that's fine, but then we're going to have, back to back multiple sessions of just breaking obsidian towers. And for my own sake and for you guys, I think that's not worthwhile. So as we go down this long, boring hallway to get to the tall, boring obsidian towers in the end, these map things were super cool. And I don't know if it's just they're working their way through them or, what, if it's new content and they're just going. But like at the bottom of the National Colorado Day page, which I just selected and was looking at, they, oh, maybe that was it. Maybe Colorado was in April. Colorado became a state in August. So maybe I was misremembering that. That would explain the ordering a little better. Anyway, um, they have this cool map with all these cool fun facts, and it looks really cool. That would be something if they sold a printable map or something like that. It'd be kind of cool. It's maybe not quite that well done that I'd really want to hang it on the wall of an office, but you could expand on that, right? Make it something cool um, that teachers certainly could hang in their classrooms and that kind of stuff. I think it'd be cool. What do I know? Anyway, they didn't have one for Vermont. And I was like, poor Vermont. Like, they had this list, it was like, okay, Vermont has this and this and this. And then they just had, like, web links to all their museums and parks and stuff. I was like, I guess that's cool. But, poor Vermont. Let's do a little better for them, right? So, I don't know. I'm sure they have like a state flower and bird and all that kind of stuff too, but there was nothing on the website to tell me about them. So we'll just have to wait to see. All right, back we go. Wait for the world to pop in. Try not to look at the Enderman here as we make our way back over to our scaffold. And this will be good. We'll get in a few of slices off this tower in this episode, and then maybe we'll fill up our inventory before we have spent an entire next episode on it. So we just keep it good back and forth. Never too much of any one thing, but we are making good progress. I'm so happy to have that ceiling down. I don't know that I can say we're quite halfway, but maybe by the time we've grabbed this load of obsidian, we'll be good to go. I'm gonna meet you guys for just a second. I'm gonna blow my nose, so talk to you in a second. Take that, you fall time allergies, whatever. Sniffle. That was very cleansing. We get a lot of bang for a buck out of that. Whatever the fall allergies are, I haven't been nearly as sneezy. I'm sure you guys remember. Like, now watch it. I'll say it. I'll be sneezing my head off. But I don't know, like feels like late July through kind of mid-September, I would just get racked by these out of nowhere sneezes that would just threaten to shake my whole head off. And not so much, although I like earlier in I don't know if it was in this episode, I just kind of unexpectedly coughed and I'm like, sorry, I didn't even get a mute down. That's been getting me the last couple days a little bit more, so I don't know what that's all about. Of course, nowadays, if you cough at all, you got to worry about the COVID, right? But got my vaxes, and I don't want to turn this into a vax deal. Obviously, we know how touchy that can be amongst people, but I'm definitely one. Hey, I'm not going to question it, and I don't really think that there's a big brother out there that's trying to trick me into taking something when I don't have a reason to doubt that they're trying to keep us healthier as a population. But what I am confused about, I guess not confused, but it's kind of odd. Um, Back a few months ago, my parents got their third dose of the vaccine. The FDA had approved that for folks 65 and older, whatever it is, and they'd kind of jumped in right away and said, "Hey, we're qualified. Let's get this." And I expect, for all this noise and hype about still trying to, oh, we got to convince people to take the vaccine. It's like the people that haven't taken it yet. Just count your losses. How many tax dollars are we spending on this great big effort at this point for people that they're dug in, right? Nobody's ignorant of the fact that there's a vaccine or a pandemic out there, and I don't think that seeing one football player talk about getting vaccinated during a game on a public service announcement is going to change anybody's minds. But I don't know. But what I really don't understand is if there's so many people that aren't taking it or are, what happened with this third dose? Like, there's been nothing in my local news or that I've seen online about like we're rolling that out or the next wave of people or anything like that. Um, I'm ready. Sign me up. I want to boost up what I've got and make it extra robust. Now, I guess part of it is when they talk about how the efficacy of the previous doses is wearing down. Those of us that are younger and had to wait longer, yeah, ours is still pretty robust, right? So it's sitting out there still doing its thing more than the original seniors that first got their first and second doses. So I don't know, but I kind of had thought that around this time that would be rolling out more widespread, and instead, all I hear is, get your flu shot. Well, yeah, no kidding. Can we put those together? Can we just do a one-shot deal? And I don't know. I don't think they're rolling out like the big clinics for these third dose booster type deals anymore. And maybe that's part of it. They're keeping it more quiet so the people that want to go after it can. But I'd thought they would push that third dose a little quicker and then start rolling that to more people. Because eventually, this is all gonna break down. There won't be waves anymore. It'll just be, oh, how long has it been since your last dose? I guess our little cards will tell us, and we'll go through. And eventually there will just kind of be more like a flu shot where they're available 6 months of the year, and depending on when you got your last one, go in. Or more appropriate, maybe is like a tetanus shot, right? Like you go in, and those are good for 10 years or something like that. It's not like you go through a ton of them, but your doctor will say, hey, when was the last time you had one of those? It doesn't matter if it's in that case, if you're 32 or 37, if it's been close to 10 years and you're in the doctor's office and you have to think about it, hey, we'll just give you another one. You're ready to go. It doesn't matter. Well, I think the same thing will kind of come into play for these vaccines as the supplies roll out. The question will be, is there a schedule around the mutations and what any particular dose has? And for those folks that got Pfizer or for those folks that got Johnson and Johnson, any of those, is there switching back and forth? What does it look like going forward? Because right now, I have never once at all considered or cared about who made my flu shot, right? And we've had flu shots now for 20 years or so. They're not a new deal, but yeah, I don't know which corporation has made those. Is it the same across the board, or what? How does all that work? Maybe people will start to self-educate a little bit more on that. Maybe having just thought, maybe I'll self-educate a little bit more and find out. Do they differ? Is it anything you need to ask about? I know for me, the needle thing has never been a problem. I don't freak out. I give blood. If a doctor's got to get some vials for blood tests or whatever, or any of the shots relative to getting a blood draw are just laughable, right? And I know, I remember being a little kid and being scared of getting a shot. You got to go in and get your shot. I don't want to get my shot. I'm so scared. You make an all-day deal of it until you go in for your physical because you might have to get a shot when you're there. And in the end, it's nothing. It's like it's all kind of a mental deal. But for people that do have a needle thing, hey, I have the same thing for snakes, so I get it. And it's all mental, right? The snake's not trying to do me any disservice hanging around. We can all just go about our business, but it is what it is. But anyway, yeah, I know, you can pay a bunch more to get like a nasal mist injection of a flu shot, which again, big target demographic. Get the kids flu shots because they're the ones that are in schools where a lot of this stuff spreads and gets passed back and forth. Because as we all know, children are filthy animals that don't wash their hands. All that. A little truth to it, but kids, we love you. You're all good. Just wash your hands. It's a good deal. We will check our time as soon as we get down to the bottom here. I'm sure we're pushing or on the edge. But this has been a good start already. If we haven't already filled any others, we got 3 stacks of obsidian already under our belt, and we'll just keep plugging away at this in the next episode. And having that full load, if we ferry that back over to the dig site and then clear our second side, I think we should have enough to get our walls done. And at that point, we'll just have floor. And I really am thinking, for anybody who watched in slow cooker, if you guys want, between episodes here, check back. You'd have to pull up the slow cooker playlist and go back a ways to where we were fighting the wither, but you can see how I almost went back to the portal. I don't think we need to do that. Oh, we still got 10 minutes. I was ready to shortchange us all. Let's keep, if I can get back to the game, let's keep after it. Yeah, regardless of how much this overlaps, once we do fill up, we'll go back, we'll unload all that, we'll probably take down the other side. Of the platform, then do the walls, and then we'll just have a flat floor to do like our ceiling and call it good. But in the last time we did kind of an arena wither setup, we actually made containment chambers down below the floor for our targets. And this time I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm just gonna kind of let them run wild, and you guys will see what that means. But we'll see how it goes. I always used to try to do that to keep containment a little bit better, I guess, but I think we can do that with one gate and not be too worried about it. And without having the holes, I think, in terms of the fight itself, we can strafe a little bit better, all that. Whereas usually I just kind of like hunker down and try to hide from the exploding wither ball things, whatever the blue. They're kind of like gassed fireballs, but whatever their official name is, I don't know. This is good. Extra progress. Always nice. And we'll try to come up with something fun and new to talk about in our next episode. I think I've covered all the recent. Yeah, that was in the first episode. Covered all the recent videos and movies and that kind of stuff that I've done. So, oh man, not too much on that particular well. We'll come up with something good. Yeah. I think it'll be fun though. I think not having holes in the floor that we have to worry about falling into will keep us kind of change up my fighting style for the Wither a little bit. And in the chaotic fun of a Wither fight, we'll talk it through. But I guess we're at the end of the episode. I doubt there's many folks hanging on every word, but for anyone who maybe hasn't fought a Wither, you're gonna set up the soul sand and the skulls to spawn him, and then when you summon the Wither, it kind of does a immune shaking thing, and then when it has kind of loaded, like the dragon reloading and all the towers respawning, all that good stuff. Once all that's done, then it explodes. It actually hovers in space and pops. And if you're standing right next to it, you're gonna get all that blast damage. But once that's done, the Wither gets to fly. It can hover around and shoot its fireballs at you and all that. And that's why we've got him confined in this box of obsidian. If he wants to get out, it's not going to do anything to him, but it will slow him down a bit. Because rather than just, erasing an entire wall, if his little explosion things, the increased durability of the obsidian will, maybe break one or two blocks of it. So it takes many more fireballs, and you'll see it, once he punches a hole, if his fireballs keep going in that direction, boom, he's made like a full ravine in moments. It's like, oh my goodness, what happened here? So that's why we're putting all this effort into a single battle. And if you go watch videos of folks summoning the Wither in the overworld, just up on the surface, you'll see the same thing. One fight, even if you're really good at taking out the Wither, it's gonna just crater the environment, right? You're going to have a massive cleanup project on your hands to try to get it back to anything presentable. So, being good stewards as we are, we're making a good controlled environment. I want to get those roses. I want to have a good fight with them. I like it. I think it's enjoyable. It's why wouldn't I want to fight the arguably the toughest mob in the game? So we'll do that. Then once we've done it, then we can create the little room under the portal, and for future withers, just leave him contained and cleaned up from there. So that should get us a few beacons, but for now, I think we got time to do one more, at least. These aren't quite as quick as the others, but again, every bit we get here gets us back out of the end for our next episode if we can mine quickly. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Well, since we're heading down, and this should have cut our time pretty well. I think we'll call this our last strip. Not that it will significantly change a whole lot. It'll just be the break of time it requires for this video to upload and us to fire back up. But I'm gonna keep pressing through. That's as I said, bunch of episodes, but don't want to just have a week of endlessly working on the thing. I want to fight the wither, get that done, get our beacon going, kind of as we talk about a lot of times at the beginning of Worlds. There's different phases. We're over 200 episodes in. I don't think we've shortchanged the early game at all. I've certainly tried to do building and exploring and adventuring, all the rest, without having just forsaken all that to be fully netherrited up, and we take some chances in doing that. That's why we've had a dozen worlds, right? We're fully aware that this is hardcore. And we'll do more of that, but I would like to get beacons, kind of get into that last equipped stage of the game. Now that we have our triumphs, now that we have our netherite gear and armor and all that, but just kind of be the over the top, so that we can kind of make our press on the HCMC 100 stuff. And I don't know, they haven't released dated yet for 18. But it would be nice, and I don't know if we can do it with How Did We Get Here. That's got a lot of work, and that's one I've never successfully completed. I've set up, I've been working on it before, but never got all the way through. So we've got that one, is a big one, and then some of the just RNG type stuff. Most of that's taken care of, but we've got to locate mushroom islands. The wings, of course, will help. To get to the wings, though, it would be really good to respawn the dragon and get a new portal to the end that's not near the cities we've already looked at. So, a few more dragon fights, but we're getting close, and I'm probably better served to talk about this in the next episode when we got more mining to do. So we'll do that. I'll make a note here, and we will talk more about gameplay styles and things like that as we finish filling our pockets with obsidian. I haven't even... Here, let's get rid of that. I just want to do one thing here. We're in our last minute. So we didn't get real far, but we've got 5 and over a half stacks already. that we wouldn't have had if we had waited. All right, there we go. Closed source. Thank you all for watching. I know these are a little more tedious. I don't know what that's about. Than just running around fighting stuff and all that. But we're making good progress. We're going to try to get through it all here pretty quick here, so that maybe we might have to do some finish up work tomorrow. But we'll see how quick it goes if we can get that weather fight going. Anyway, thanks for watching. Likes and comments always appreciated. Really enjoy you guys coming around and saying hi. So keep that up, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye now.